everyone. Welcome to the Greater Los Angeles County Public Information Officials Group, otherwise known as LAPIO. I'm Mary Joy Coburn. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to the Orange County communicators who have joined us today. The goal of the LAPIO group is to get local government PIOs and communicators collaborating across the Greater Los Angeles County. We meet quarterly with various topics and speakers from our group. This is a great way to build your contact list, strengthen relationships, and receive training for your role.
Good morning, fellow communicators. My name is Rosa Citraro. I'm the External Affairs Branch Director for the LA County Joint Information Center. I'm happy to share that LA County continues to make steady progress with its vaccination efforts. As we expand eligibility, the Department of Public Health urges all communicators to continue to push to increase vaccination coverage among those 65 and older, given their increased risk for severe illness with infection. As we move into a new tier that no longer requires individuals to identify their eligibility based on work role, it's important that vaccine recipients still be ready to provide documentation that they either live or work within LA County and provide some sort of photo ID. Information about how to make an appointment or about the vaccines themselves can be found at vaccinatelacounty.com. Over the past year, the LA County Joint Information Center has partnered with the Department of Public Health and other county departments to find creative and effective ways to communicate important messages with over 10 million residents. We have an extensive digital toolkit that features creative content in over 5 different languages. We also send out external affairs newsletters on Mondays and Wednesdays, which amplify new updates from the Department of Public Health, provide information on county COVID-related programs, and promote new creative content. On Fridays, which we in the JIC have coined Multicultural Fridays, we turn our focus to multilingual content formatted into a mini social toolkit that partners can easily plug into their social media queues. If you're interested in learning more about our digital toolkit, or if you'd like to sign up to receive our newsletters, please feel free to email me. My email address is rcitraro@ceo.lacounty.gov.
Good morning. My name is Carrie Lujan, and I'm the Communications Manager for the City of Santa Clarita, and I am joined today by Communications Specialist Kevin Strauss. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about Facebook analytics, how we use them here at the city, some basics, as well as give you some examples and case studies. So the Facebook algorithm determines which posts people see from who and which type of content they are most likely to engage with. Algorithm currently ranks the posts each user sees in the order that they're likely to enjoy them. And this is based on a variety of factors, which is also known as ranking signals. So the 3 ranking signals are who a user typically interacts with, the type of media in the post, for example, video, link, or photo, and the popularity of the post.
So on the screen, you'll see our main landing page when you're managing the page, you're logged in, and you're an administrator on it. As you scroll down the left side, you'll see a button for Insights, and clicking on Insights will then open up a dashboard where you can look at your most recent 1-week snapshot, and you can export the data into a CSV and share that. You can select different date ranges up to a month from this dashboard, but then really break down and look at your follower count over time, how your boosted posts and your ads are doing, how many likes you have, the reach on different posts. And as you scroll through, you can see what your most recent posts are doing, how that reach has been, what those engagements are, and really get very granular with that.
This year, of course, we could not do an in-person event, so we took our State of the City virtual. It was a combination of pre-taped videos as well as live interactions. And this is the analytics page from that event. You can see that it reached more than 21,000 people. You can see how many people viewed it, the reactions, comments, and shares. You can see a list of the different analytics from the different pages that shared our posts. But you can see overall, after producing this virtual show, we reached 43,242 people, which is, of course, much more than the normal 400 that are in the room for the State of the City luncheon.
Hi there, I'm Hector Guzman, a sergeant with the LAPD's Public Communications Group. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about Twitter our experiences with it, and how we think you can best use it. Twitter is a microblog platform with a large media following. If you walk into a modern-day newsroom, you will see their screens monitoring Twitter all day, every day. Twitter's best use is for short content that is updated quickly. That is why news and associated updates perform best on Twitter versus other platforms. When it comes to developing the content on Twitter, don't always be tempted to use all 280 characters. We understand that at times a long, drawn-out message is needed, but there are times where a short message gets the point across. We also think it's a good idea to invest in photography. A DSLR camera with a good lens will go a long way towards capturing good photographic content for your account. And don't be inclined to get that staged group shot all the time. Sometimes capturing a candid moment means a lot. And in this day and age, video content is very important and something I think you should all focus on.
Across the country, we've seen a rise in hate crimes directed at Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. From talking with our community partners, we believe that there are still hate incidents which go unreported to the police.
This also ties in with video, but don't be afraid to go live. Whether with the use of a cell phone or professional equipment, going live allows you the opportunity to connect instantly with your audience.
Participation has never been more important, and it's an honor to stand here today with them.
And one last thing. If there are members of your organization that are willing to share their stories, please take advantage of it. Showing your human side is the best way to create a connection with your audience, an emotional connection.
My name is Pablo Cabrera, and I'm the Communications Specialist with the San Gabriel Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District. Brings me to my first point, and that's building trust with your audience over time, and not just when we're, in the middle of a pandemic. According to Instagram, as of July 2020, the platform reported 1 billion active users worldwide, making it the second-ranked traditional social media network in terms of active users. That's a lot of people actively using Instagram as part of their everyday lives. This is why it's so important to be a verified account on Instagram, because it helps to build your credibility and prevents others from giving out false information under false pretenses. Tip number 2, it matters how we deliver this information on Instagram. Can we all agree that posting a photo of your press release on Instagram just does not work? Nobody can access it and nobody can read it. So let's shut that down. Tip number 3, analytics. Don't forget to look at your analytics. This is so important. Instagram gives you so much information in regards to how users are using your page or interacting with your post. Tip number 4 is design. Design is very important when it comes to Instagram because we're naturally going to stop at something that visually catches our eye or makes us stop scrolling and engage with that post. So I always say, create something that you would want to share on your social media platform. And this leads me to tip number 5, Instagram features. Instagram has a ton of features available right at our fingertips that allows us to create posts that are a lot more engaging and interactive that makes our users stop and engage with our content.
We will now move into the live Q&A, and it looks like they're still coming in. The first one we have here is, I believe, for Carrie and Kevin. Facebook has announced that their analytics feature will be going away soon. I was wondering if Carrie or Kevin has any plans for their agency in tracking analytics in the future, or could offer any advice in doing that.
So this is a bit of a tricky subject in that Facebook analytics may not mean what you think Facebook analytics means. The Facebook analytics platform was Facebook's direct response to the Google Analytics platform, which is used for advertising and tracking shoppers through the consumer process. So the Facebook analytics piece that is being retired at the end of June is specifically the Facebook Pixel that is used by web developers, app developers, and advertisers to track anything from a comment on a post through the consumer cycle across websites to eventually make a purchase on a website. So for our purposes in government, it's not changing anything to the dashboard, as if you use the mobile application, you've already been transitioned over to the Facebook Business Suite to manage your pages. That's the same insights, data, analytics that you're still going to be able to get.
For those of us who aren't public health or other large agencies, how do we convince Instagram to verify us? This is a very good question.
Us in the government world, I think, have an advantage in getting verified because we do have a legitimate reason to be verified on these social media platforms. Instagram and a lot of other social media platforms have devoted teams to help government agencies or anyone within government to be verified, so that we don't have people pretending to be government that aren't necessarily. So if you want to share your information with me, I'd be happy to share with you the steps. The verification process for Instagram and for other social media platforms is constantly changing. I just went through a verification process again a few weeks ago, and it was very different than the first time I went through it.
The last question is, how do you diversify or spice up the same content that has to be used consistently throughout the year? And then once you get that variety, how can you grow public engagement?
Something that we do with the City of Santa Clarita is really utilize all the different ways to get our messages out. To give you an example, we recently had a rental assistance program that we're working on. So to get the message out to everyone in all the demographics, we did a Facebook Live. We have posts that have the general information on them. We'll do a picture. So we're really doing all the different kinds of formats that you can for the posts to make sure that we're best utilizing the algorithm in Facebook, as well as reaching as many people as we can.
And now we're actually going to go ahead and go into the breakout room session. This is a great opportunity to network for about 15 minutes, and you could choose actually what room you want to network in. We highly encourage you to choose a room where there's less communicators that you may know, so that you could network for future opportunities.
Before we conclude, there's a few announcements that I'd like to share with everyone. So for those who are interested in becoming more involved in this LAPIO group, we encourage you to join a subcommittee. And if you'd like to stay connected with other PIOs before our next meeting, there are a few ways to do that. You can join the LinkedIn group or the Google groups, or you can follow us on Twitter. I'd also like to take this time to thank the planning committee for putting together these meetings. And with that, I'd like to share that our next meeting will take place on July 15th, so please save the date for that. And that's it for today. I want to thank everyone so much for joining us for this LAPIO group, and we'll see you next time.